Good evening, all. You remember that a couple of weeks back I mentioned that we nipped over to Paris for a weekend during the summer? We decided not to take a proper holiday, and we thought we'd use the money we'd saved to do the Paris trip in style and go by air. There was Andy and Mary and myself, and Grace came along to make up the four. Oh, it was quite a party. And I got my first experience of a little bit of crooked business which goes by the name of the hot seat. Hotel de Bongenay.
Oh, you know it?
Oh, I've been there a couple of times. The chap that runs it's an old friend of mine.
Oh, Mr. Cordell's still there, is he, George?
Well, he answered my letter. Now, don't worry, it's only a small place, but he'll make us very welcome.
You know what? I think I'll stay a month after all. There's no point in hurrying back.
Well, I think so, too. As a matter of fact, why go back at all? I mean, we could go south.
What do you mean, spend the winter in Cannes or Monte?
Well, it's an idea. I mean, there's no point in living through an English winter if you don't have to.
Well, we might have a little flutter at the casino.
Oh, no, not me. I always lose.
Oh, what difference? A few thousand here or there. It's all good fun.
You went all the way out to the airport? Well, they've only gone for 2 days.
Sonny here wanted to see the great big aeroplanes flying into the sky.
I wish I was going to Paris.
Oh, they say it's just as lively in Soho or Stepney these days, old boy.
Maybe, but it doesn't sound so good when they speak the same language.
I tell you what, Tommy, there's some wonderful pieces of crockery out at the airport. Oh, man, there was one Indian girl. Oh, she was marvelous.
Hey, you're a connoisseur of the female. Take her putties at there.
Ah, now that's class. That's the real stuff.
She's wanted.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, what's this matters meeting?
Oh, we were just discussing appreciation of art, Sarge.
Where you, Lauderdale? You know, you got enough tongue for 2 sets of teeth. Get you hang one of these days. Go on, wake on with some work, will you?
Right, Sarge.
Well, do you want me to give you something to warm your hands on, Hughes?
No, Sarge, thanks. No, I've got a job for the DI. Just checking.
Oh, I should bang on with it then. Guess you want to find yourself back on the beat.
Right, Sarge.
Well, anything to report, McPherson?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Oh, did you see Dixon safely off this morning?
Aye, we did.
I could do with a nice long weekend in Paris myself, away from this lark. You know, I wanted to go abroad this year, but the missus settled for Margaret, as usual.
Oh, I rather liked Margaret. I remember a couple of years back, I was down there one
Will you
weekend.
wake up Lauderdale when I want your reminiscences I'll ask for them?
Yes, sir.
Dark Green Police, station officer speaking, yes? Yes.
If they've got money, why do they come to a place like this?
I told you, I heard him on the plane. The proprietor's an old friend.
But it's such a dump.
Well, that's how some people like it. Big hotels are like flaming railroad stations.
They don't sound as if they've got money.
Now, listen, Joyce, the ones who sound poor are the ones who are sleeping on mink these days. I'm talking about going south for the winter. You've got to have dough to talk like that.
I suppose you could be right. Question is, how much have they got?
Okay, so they're not millionaires. But right now, that suits us. We're a bit hot, Joyce, and it suits us to stay out of the limelight.
Out of the limelight? Are you kidding? Even the cops would have a fit if they knew we'd come down to this.
Look, it won't be for long. We'll pay these mugs for what they're worth, a couple of grand maybe, and then we'll shoot through. A couple of grand. It's worth giving it a go, isn't it?
If you say so.
Oh, I do. You know what they say. Smaller profit, bigger turnover. It'll work. It's got to. Right now, I've got a very small wallet.
You'll join me in an aperitif? Oh, I think it's my turn. No, nonsense. Allow me. My pleasure.
No, it's my shout. No arguments, Mr. Treadgold. Henri, 2 vermouths and a lager, please.
Monsieur, tout de suite.
Alors, votre femme et les enfants, ils vont bien?
Ah oui, ça va très bien, monsieur,
Oh,
très
bon,
bien.
ça va.
You speak excellent French, Mr. Dixon.
Oh, it's not bad, I suppose. Matter of fact, when I was a youngster, I was over here for a couple of years, living in with a French family.
You here on business or pleasure?
Oh, pleasure.
Quite. One doesn't come to Paris on business, eh? Personally, of course, I'm pretty glad of the break. I'm in fertilizers, you know, and we've really been booming since the war. It's been hard to keep pace. I'm only too glad to snatch the odd weekend away from the desk.
We could say that, eh, Andy? Our business is booming, too.
And what's that?
Voilà, messieurs.
Oh, thank you, Henri.
Yeah, I'm glad I met up with you two. I was getting rather bored.
Cheers.
I find it very difficult to relax, you know. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. You were saying?
Pardon?
You know, just before the drinks came. Your line of business.
Oh, we're in public relations.
Public relations consultants.
Yes, that's the sort of thing.
A big organization?
Well, what would you say, Andy?
Biggest in the country, Mr. Treadgold.
Oh, I say that's clever. It's the coming thing, they say. A lot of money in that game, I believe.
Well, it varies, you know.
Oh, he's being modest. Only last week he took nearly £3,000 in cash off one of our clients.
Cash?
In cash.
Really?
Yeah.
They carry that much about with them?
Well, some of them are rather eccentric.
After all, we say that the money is safer with us than it is with our customers.
That's a good motto. Excellent. Yeah, I think I might use that when I get back, if you don't mind.
Yeah, help yourself. Well, Andy, I think we ought to go and find the girls, eh?
Yeah.
From wandering round the shops, probably lost and spent a fortune.
Look, I've got a car here with me. Why don't you regard it as your own while you're here?
Oh, no, we couldn't.
Oh, no, I insist. I shan't be using it all that much.
Well, it would be a bit of a help. We did think of hiring one, didn't we?
You do no such thing. Mine's at your disposal. And look, you'll be my guests for dinner tonight, will you? Oh, please.
Well,
You'll join me?
Very good of you.
Lovely. Well, we meet down here then, what, about 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
And if you want to go anywhere this afternoon, well, my car's outside. It's at your disposal. I mean, you can just stand there doing nothing if you don't. I'll tell my chauffeur to expect you.
Right,
Right,
bye.
good. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Excuse me, sir. Have you got a light?
Oh, certainly. Well? Oh, it's okay. Not big, but interesting.
What's it worth?
2, maybe 3.
When?
Tonight, 8 o'clock.
Oh, thank you, sir.
No, not at all.
Henri.
Well, if this isn't the hot seat routine, then I'm a Chinese monk. Andy, it stands out a mile.
Well, you could be right, George, but would confidence men operate in a small place like this? Well, no offense, you understand.
C'est rien, monsieur.
Oh, they might. Monsieur Calder, when did Mr. Treadgold book into this hotel?
Yesterday. It was about an hour. Yes, it was an hour after you arrived.
Well, if he knew we were coming here...
Well, how would he know, George?
Well, an accomplice may have overheard us discussing it, or someone on the plane or at the airport. Well, they may have seen the labels on our luggage.
Yeah, but Mr. Dixon, I am now confused. Please, if you please, what is the hot seat?
Well, it's a kind of confidence trick.
Well, officially known as disbursement of fortunes.
Oh, so, yes.
Well, you see, 2 or 3 crooks work together, and they pick a victim whom they believe to have money. Then, through various tricks, they gain his confidence, and then relieve him of all the cash they can lay their hands on.
That's it. This fellow Treadgold got talking to Grace in the shop next door. She was in a bit of difficulty with the language, and he came to a rescue. Now, he could have arranged that beforehand.
Yeah, but he might be just an old wolf who's got his eye on Grace,
Yeah,
George.
if he did, he'd have a nasty shock. She knows a couple of arm locks that'd keep him quiet for hours. No, it isn't that, Andy. All this business about taking us out to dinner and borrowing the car, it fits the pattern.
But if this man is a criminal, as you say, he must have accomplices. Who are these?
Oh, they'll shut before long, don't you worry.
Hey, George. That fellow on the plane across the gangway with the attractive-looking woman, you remember? Sounded Australian.
Well, they're in the hotel. Andy, you're right.
Australian, Mr. and Mrs. Ames. Oh, please, they are very good people, very generous.
When did they come here?
Well, just before you.
Well, did they book in beforehand?
No, but I had the rooms, you see, and it was...
Andy, that's it. I'll lay all Lombard Street to a China orange. Is that the team? Treadgold, Ames, and the girl.
Well, we've had a lot of dope sent down from the yard about confidence men. I could ring up the Nick and check up.
Ring up Doc Green from Paris.
Well, why not? This is the 20th century, mate. You can telephone from anywhere.
Oh, I didn't mean that, you clod. I'm thinking about the cost.
Well, I might get the Sarge to accept a reverse charge call.
Oh, you've got some hopes.
But if these people are what you say, should we not go to the Sûreté, the Paris police?
We will when we're sure, but they've got to be caught red-handed for one thing. And for another thing, we've got the loan of a very nice car this afternoon, so we might as well take advantage of it. Go on, Andy, ring the old Nick, and then we'll go out and see the town.
Sergeant. Which one moment, McPherson?
Sergeant, it's urgent. Sergeant Crawford's on the line from Paris, and he wants to talk to you.
Oh, bring it from Paris, eh? Well, I never. Well, tell Alf to put him on, will you?
Well, Alf's not sure whether to accept the call because he wants to reverse the charges, you see.
He wants to what? Well, if that doesn't take the flipping tiles off, you tell Sergeant Crawford for me if he wants to ring up... Here, I'll ring him myself. Alf, put Sergeant Crawford on, will you, please? Yes, I know all about that, but I'll take the responsibility. Yes. Is that you, Crawford? Is that Crawford? I beg your pardon, miss. Eh? Oui. Yes. There's a rigmarole going on here. I won't half clean his buttons when he does come on, too.
Well, they've accepted the call.
Well, wonders will never cease. There'll be questions in Parliament about this.
Hello, Sarge. Is that you, Sarge? It's Andy here.
Hello, is that you, Crawford? Crawford, now you listen to me. If you think you can waste the public money by ringing up from any old place, you've got another thing coming. Reverse the charges, indeed. In all my years of service and experience, I've never heard of such a liberty. Are you listening, Crawford? Now listen to me. I don't care CID or no CID. Crawford, are you listening? Oh, it's you, George.
Yeah. No, take it easy, Sarge. Look, we're onto something and we want some help.
Well, official business?
Well, of course it's official.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
Well, all right, don't have to shout. Don't try and make your voice carry across the blooming channel. Now, listen, Sarge, this is the situation.
The hot seat.
Come, then.
Quiet, will you? Yeah? Yes, go on, George. Carry on, I'll go, I've got it. Yeah. What's it? They're not trying it on you, George, are they? Well, I'll go up into Hackney. What do they think they can get out of you, huh? Haven't even got our pay rise yet, have we? Why not try and sell them the old nick, eh? What's your number there? Yes, your number there. Right. Yeah. I see. Right, now I'll check up and ring you back as soon as possible. Not to ring till after 5. Why not? What? Oh, blimey. In his car, eh? You aren't half living it up big, aren't you, eh? Just your luck, Dixon, eh? All right, I'll let you know as soon as possible. Oh, and love to Mary. So long. Well, if that doesn't take the bite, the flipping tires and all. I reckon George Dixon's and smell him, you know.
Well, give us a grip, Sarge. What's happened?
What's happened? What's happened is you wouldn't believe it, even if you saw it written in a book. Jamie, get off the CID, will you? Get Hughes in here or something.
I'd like to know what's happening, Sergeant.
A couple of mugs think George Dixon is rolling in rhino, and they're trying to squeeze some cash out of him.
Oh, they're pulling your leg, Sarge.
They'd better not be. Go on, Jamie, get off. We want some information, quick.
Right, sir. And what are they doing now?
Nothing at the moment, till they hear from us. Did I say nothing? They're having a free trip round Paris in the come-on man's car. I tell you know, if George Dixon fell down a drain, he'd come up smelling of violence.
The car Treadgold put at our disposal was certainly a wonderful one. We drove round Paris in style, I can tell you. Oh, and Paris is really a wonderful city. Look at that. The view from the top of the Arc de Triomphe, it's really breathtaking. You know what they say about the London bobby, eh? I thought the French policemen were pretty wonderful, too. While Mary and Grace did a bit of shopping, Andy and I took ourselves off to see the Eiffel Tower. Oh, gee, some tower, look at that. Well, we didn't go up. We really felt we'd had enough of heights on top of the Arc de Triomphe. And as it turned out, we found we had a little bit of shopping to do, too. See? Up in a square called Place du Tertre, that's in Montmartre, we found lots of artists painting. Most of them chose as a subject the famous church, the Sacré-Cœur. Andy and I chatted with one of them. Well, I did because my French is a little better than his. With all those steps and one thing and another, we were all ready for a nice cuppa. But that's something that tastes better back home.
Right, you got that, Andy? Good. Now the last one, the girl. Oh, she's a pippin. Real name Joyce Cardew, alias Manning, Waterhouse, Ames. She may be married to Ames, no information on that, but they definitely pose as man and wife. She's a natural blonde, frequently changes her hair coloring, last seen as a brunette. Age 25, attractive, very well spoken. Now, according to the Yard, they were doing a softening up job on a couple of American tourists in London. Tourists got suspicious and they skipped out. Probably broke by now, which explains why they're working you over. Trying to raise expenses for a really big job. Oh, yes, fine. Hold on, Sergeant wants a word.
Hey, you, Crawford? Now, listen. The DI says don't monkey around with this one. These characters are wanted everywhere.
Ah, here we are. Sit down here. Is that all right?
Aye.
Good. And we can have a quickie while we're waiting for the men folk.
They shouldn't be long. We were late getting in this afternoon.
Hey, look. Someone's left their wallet.
Oh, that's very careless, very. Any identification?
Not on the outside.
Well, there's probably a card or something inside.
Oh, he's not a poor man, whoever he is.
Excuse me, I was wondering. We were just sitting here and... Oh, you have it.
Oh, thank heavens for that. Your wallet.
Yeah, well, we had to open it in order to see if there was any identification.
Oh, just mine. My name's Ames, Peter Ames. I've got a card inside and a rather large sum of franc notes.
It's yours, all right. Hope you didn't mind my opening it.
Well, we had to check it, Mr. Ames.
Oh, of course, natural. I'm glad you did. I could have been unlucky.
He's always losing things. He's a wonderful businessman, but with personal items, he has a head like a sieve.
This is my wife, Joyce. Look, I reckon I owe you something. Could I buy you a grog? Now, please don't say no. Waiter.
Look, no, it isn't necessary, thank you.
Well, if the ladies have no objection, I would like to show my gratitude.
Well, if you insist, Mr.
Well, I do. Do you mind if we join you, Miss...
Millard, this is Mrs. Crawford.
Oh,
How do you
pleased
do?
to meet you all. Another chair, please.
Très bien, monsieur.
Well, how long are you staying in Paris, Mr. Crawford?
Oh, I'm not Mr. Crawford. No, my name's Treadgold. I'm just a friend of these ladies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now, what's it going to be?
This wallet lark's always the same now. It's as old as Adam. They planted it there, and then old Treadgold deliberately got Grace and Mary over to the table so they'd find it.
Well, when do you reckon they start putting the bite on, George?
Well, they'll put some bait in tonight, I shouldn't wonder. Well, we got to get a move on, you know. We're going tomorrow.
Well, I hope the girls are playing up all right.
Oh, don't worry, I briefed them in full.
Quite an attractive dish, that Mrs. Ames. A pity she won't look so good in prison clothes.
You better watch your step, my boy. You don't want to get friendly with her, or she'll have Mary after you, you know.
Hey, this is a men's cloakroom, isn't it?
You're in France now, mate. They don't care. Come on, let's get back to the table. Hola, merci, madame.
Merci, monsieur, merci.
This is a very interesting little place here. They say that a girl got knifed here last week.
Really?
Oh, but don't you worry. You'll be well protected.
George, your daughter tells me you're here on a pleasure trip.
That's right.
That was my idea, too. Well, I come for pleasure, but as usual, a spot of business came up.
Oh, well, can't you forget it?
Oh, I could, but it's such a good thing. Oh, too damn good to pass up. I mean, you're a businessman, George. You know how it happens.
Yeah, too true, I do.
The trouble with Pete is that he can't leave business alone, you know. Do you ever forget your business worries, Andy?
Oh, frequently.
You look the sort of man who knows when to relax.
Well, all work and no play, you know, if I can coin a phrase.
I wish Pete would remember that. Mind you, I suppose I can't blame him in this case. I mean, I know nothing about business. Absolutely nothing. But this deal he's on now seems fabulous. I mean, even to me, even I can see it, you know? this is a fascinating place, isn't it? Mr. Treadgold was saying there was a girl knifed here last week.
Yes, I heard. Doesn't surprise me. Andy?
Yes, dear?
It's rather stuffy in here and I'm feeling a bit tired. Can we go now, please?
Oh, of course, we can go back to the hotel and take it easy on the terrace. It'll be cool there. Waiter, la décision, s'il vous plaît.
Now listen, Bridgie, this is my show. I'm picking up the check.
Oh, no. I invited you to dinner. No, it's on me. I insist.
Now, look here, you don't argue. I'll settle this.
No, it's my party.
Good.
Oh, well, if you insist.
Oh, we do indeed.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter after all. I don't want to hurt Crawford's feelings.
Oh, no, that's the last thing.
All right, this is on you. But tomorrow night, it's on me, and I shan't take any arguments then.
Oh, good. Thanks.
You.
I see.
Paris at night. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Really beautiful. Place de la Concorde. Look at that. Isn't it wonderful? The Champs-Élysées. Pigalle district and the cafes. What exciting places they are. The Moulin Rouge, more cafes. World-famous church of the Madeleine. These lovely flood-lit palaces. Beautiful. And then at midnight, we got out of the car to have a proper look at that lovely old cathedral of Notre Dame. You know something? It looked just like an ancient galleon riding at anchor while all around busy little ships went sailing by. And so to bed. Well, not quite yet.
1 o'clock. Well, I think I shall just have one more smoke, then I go up to bed, I think. Yeah, nice fellow, that Ames. Must confess I didn't take to him at first, but he seems to know his onions. Did he ever mention that deal he's working on to you?
Yes, he did. Well, it sounded pretty terrific.
Oh, I'm glad you say that, George. Because you know what he told me? He was meeting his contact man tomorrow, and he was paying him over 135,000 francs to settle the deal.
New francs?
Yes, of course. Now, that'd be what, about 10,000 pounds sterling. Oh, I tried to sign him out to see if he'd let me in on it. He shut up like a clown. You know, I could just do with a nice little quick tax-free profit, eh?
Well, who couldn't?
Look, suppose I tackle him again. Suppose I could persuade him to let me in for, say, a third or a quarter. Would you gentlemen be interested?
Well, what sort of an outlay would it involve?
Well, now, if you let me in for a third and we split it 3 ways, that'd be what, about 1,100 apiece?
I don't know. George, I'll take your advice on that one.
Oh, that's what I like to see, caution. Look, I'll tell you something. When I came back to the hotel this evening, you saw me slip up to my room.
Yeah.
Do you know why? When I went to ring my Paris broker, dragged him out of a dinner party to ask him about these shares. He said he'd put every sou he'd got into it if he had the chance, every sou. And he's a broker who's very, very steady.
Well, that sort of opinion's worth something.
Oh, exactly. Well, what do you say? Should we form a little syndicate and force Ames to let us in?
How can you force him?
Oh, leave that to Uncle. Now, this is a very delicate deal. One little whisper to the press. Kaput. Follow me? I go and tell Ames he's got to let us in on the ground floor, or... well, there'll be a leak.
Quite a businessman, eh?
We try. I mean, it's no good taking a knife to cut glass. Look, there's another thing. We'll give him cash. That's always a good thing to do. Shows the man really means business. Can you gentlemen raise 15,000 francs, new francs, by the morning?
Well, I think so. I mean, after all, it isn't as though it's a very large sum. What do you say, Andy?
Yeah, sure, fine.
Right, then, gentlemen, it's a deal. We'll meet here at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Right.
In the meantime, I'll have a word with Ames, and, in a couple of days, we should be showing a nice, clean 250% profit. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Can't do this to us.
This is ridiculous.
Asseyez-vous.
Now, listen, Sport, I'm an Australian citizen.
Assis.
I want to see the Australian consul.
À tout à l'heure, monsieur.
We made a muck of this job, too. We got out of London by the skin of our teeth, and now this idiot.
Oh, shut up.
Ah, the whole bunch, eh?
Look, will you gentlemen please tell us what's going on?
Oh, it's no good, Pete. Thousands of tourists all over France, and we have to pick on a couple of coppers.
What?
Detective Sergeant Crawford.
Police Constable Dixon.
Holy smoke.
Here we are. Ah, yes. The money is marked. You should have checked it, Mr. Tregold. Most of it's newspaper. Travel tickets to Munich. All right, Sergeant, let's take him down to your Nick.
Nick, qu'est-ce que c'est ça, Monsieur Crawford? Alors, voici les 3 escrocs. Vous pouvez les arrêter et nous viendrons avec vous comme témoins à charge. Hein? Ah, oui. Allons-y.
Public relations. That was a dirty one.
We are in public relations. We work for a very big concern.
Too big for my money.
And we'd like to thank you for the loan of the car.
Well, we've got to hand it to you fellas. We thought we had you on the hot seat, and all the time you were scorching our pants instead.
Well, you laid on a very good dinner. You know, it's the first time a blue jacket's ever bought me a meal. Thank you very much.
Why bring that up?
Yeah, but you offered to pay for it, Sport.
Yeah, I know. I want my head examined.
Still, we did have the loan of the car. That's a fair exchange. Thank you again.
Oh, yes, the car. You're welcome. Anytime.
Alors, fini?
Oui.
Allez-vous-en. Qu'est-ce qui passe?
They had you there, Andy. You were a right mug to offer to pay for that dinner.
All right. Don't rub it in.
Ah, Monsieur George, a man just bring this for you. He's waiting.
Merci, Monsieur Cordeau.
What is it, George?
Hey, it's a bill.
Bill? What for?
It's a bill for the hire of the car. He rented it in my name. Hey, 210 francs made out to Mr. Dixon. Listen, he'll have to whistle for this. No, it's not funny, Andy. Blimey, nearly £16. I'll go home broke.
Yeah, well, we're even Stevens, mate. A pair of mugs. Well, I'll leave you to it. I should settle it up if I were you and get it over with.
No, wait, no, quite an argument. In the end, I settled for £8. I suppose I could have stuck out, but, well, as Andy said, we did use the car and we did have a good time and, well, it made a nice change. Next week, we'll be back in the green as usual. Oh, see you then, and good night.
Series 1 of Life on Mars continues with episode 2 at 10:05 on Monday night here on BBC4. But still to come tonight, the first episode of our brand new series looking at the changing face of TV policing. Call the Cops is next.